guys, let's continue with the exercise. So going to the H4 again. I want to repeat myself. We have a H4 boss here, but I'm focusing more on the recent price action. So, and this is why we don't need to have exact the same swing structure, because we are trading this price action. We are not trading price action above here or here. So for me, it's more, I'm just focusing on this most recent, okay? So let me think. Okay, so H4 boss bullish, right? Here. And now we're taking the complex pullback of this leg. I mark this POI on the H4. It seems very interesting for me. We can refine the POI here. Both are valid, so okay, so I'll have both, because H4 on H4 is very clean by itself, okay? But ideally, we mitigate this one before going to the downside. So I can still have long opportunities because I still have room, and if I look left, price is not rejecting anything, okay? So if I go back to H1, what do we have? We have a sweep, okay? And then we have this POI is very, very good to look to get involved. Yeah, I was thinking if I should initially go straight and look, no, yeah, just forget that, guys. So I have this POI to look for longs, okay? So, okay, let's, let me see, H1. I have this H1 lead. I have a push down, push up. If it's not H1 lead for you, we have definitely M15. Yep. This M15. We even have this one. Okay. Okay, this is outside session. I'm analyzing, doing the same mistake. This is 6:06, so I don't trade. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, this is London, okay? So if I go to H1, we can see that price mitigate absolute extreme. Now I'm planning to look for longs, okay? What do we have? We have the buy to sell that led to the failure of this M15 lead. To be honest, it's not the most clean, but I'll just mark anyway. I don't like this one, but let's mark this one. The chalk. Okay. The reason why I don't like this one, even though it can play out, is because I don't like these equals. So I don't want to set an entry here with this equal. So at this moment, I will be waiting for an M15 confirmation on top of that. So even though the M15 can be ready, and this is where discretion, this 10% of discretion comes, that is when I'm not sure, I wait, okay? If you are sure, you can left the order. I'm not, I wait for M15 change of character and entry, or the entry model again, okay? Okay, price push to the upside, no entry. Simple as that. So now, what do we have? We definitely box structure here. So we have this POI here, okay, and we have this POI here. Okay, sorry guys, I was thinking. So I'm looking to longs to play until this POI, okay? Because like I said, playing the bullish complex pullback until the objective is completed. Once the objective is completed, you need to be more cautious. Simple as that. So POI confirm with M15. Okay, probably news. Price reached here. And it probably outside session, okay? But now I can expect this to hold. And if I was trading M1, I can trade M1 here. For me, yeah, it's outside session. Sorry. Okay, very interesting what's happening here. So this POI, let's use this is a very good example. So H4 POI is not mitigated, which means looking for longs still valid, right? Because the objective, the bullish object, is not completed. Again, I always understand where we're coming from, what price has mitigated. I still look for longs. And if I go to the H1 price, what it did, it just swept the low, straight push back up, aggressive V shape, showing this can be literally just a sweep, a trap, and now we are going up. Okay, so because this was a POI, I was going to look for longs, and it's high probability for me, especially price after sweeping this low, right here. And again, the objective that I'm trying to play here is still valid. If price already mitigate here, I would be much more cautious, okay? So I have the sweep, let's say this is the POI on H1. And then what happened is that this is an inside bar or not? Not, okay, no inside bar. So the PBL supply that caused the liquidation. Here it was a very clean sweep. Let me see. 68. So at this, for me, no. For me, this is not a flip here. So yeah, I would just stick to the extreme here, because for me, it's not a sweep of liquidity. Maybe on lower time frames in this candle, but yeah, for me, it's not a very clean. So stick to the extreme, as rule said, and because the candle, okay, is very big. I just prefer to use the engulfed method. Five hour here. Place the order. Ready to go. And price. Okay. So what happened here? Price mitigate the decisional POI. Perfect, no worries. Not according to my trading plan. And because price mitigate this POI, I'm now stop looking for longs. Or if I am, I will not be looking to leave the limit order here. I'll wait for a new entry model again or confirmation on M15, okay? Want to be a little bit more cautious Okay, so I prefer to be a little bit more cautious and wait for the new entry model if I'm going to look for longs. Let's continue. Asia, this is Asia, so yeah, let's just skip that. Oh, okay. Price mitigates, no, not yet. Price did not mitigate this, so I'm not looking for sells. Oh, but yes, I can, just because I will explain in a minute. Otherwise, it can be confused for you. So, what do you have here? The breakout structure. Okay, let's just delete this. So now I'm working with two things. Just use this refined POI, it's clean. I'm looking for longs from this POI, but I would need a very clean entry model. Okay, very, very clean, because the objective that I'm trying to play may be completed. Okay, this mitigates the POI. We can move to the downside, but still valid to look for longs because H1 in this case is bullish. Okay. On the other hand, to confirm this H4 POI, because this H1 is not mitigated yet. Okay, this H1 is not mitigated yet. To confirm this H4 POI, I'll need H1 chop. So we have this H1 chop. Am I happy to trade through this demand? Yeah, because the demand is not high probability, even if equals here, very low probability price action, wiki, etc. So I'm happy to look for sells. Let's see the entry model. Okay, I'll just mark again the POI. Price mitigate, yeah, 15. This M15, please, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive and really want to confirm the entry here. Okay, no entry. So now price mitigate the H1 POI, I can be on M15 straight away. So we have the fake break, okay. Here was the chalk, and now here was the fake break. So let's continue. This is the chalk is here. This is the change of character. Okay, what is happening here? There are two possible situations, because at this moment we know that we mitigate this POI and high time frame lower high can be made, or at least a decent pullback before mitigating demand to then continue higher. Okay, because price mitigate H1 POI, I can look for M15 straight away. Here I know here is a frustrating moment in my strategy, at least the way I define the POI. The PBL, engulfed meta, the supply and demand rules I have, okay, because I have a buy to sell or sell to buy, but at this moment this was mitigated and even spiked through. So the PBL should be this one. Okay. The only reason I don't like is because it's not again with my rules. I'm being strict, yes. So I do understand if you classify this as a valid PBL, okay, because it is. You can see this is where demand came to take out the high. But if you are using the sell to buy method, this is not valid because price spike through, or it's mitigated. Okay, so it's already mitigated before the objective was completed. So I'll just, for the sake of this exercise, even though I don't like, use this because it is what just makes sense. In my opinion, this is just what makes sense. Yeah, it's literally what makes. Let me just look at M5. Yeah, you can see how clean it is, this buy to sell. So I'll be using this. But this is one that can create confusion, because if the PBL was not valid, everything else is not valid, and I need to wait for a new entry model. At least me, I'm doing that. If you are, again, more aggressive, or you're just happy to use this buy to sell, sell to buy as PBL, which I know majority of you do, perfect, the entry is ready. Okay. So the extreme, because we have the chalk, there's no reaction here, so you take the extreme, buy to sell is already mitigated. So yes, this is not mitigated, but the entire range is. So you can take the next one. Exactly. And here, the entry, you can even cover this, okay, to be honest, just to be safe. Because if this is unmitigated, it makes sense covering that. Again, this is an entry that I can understand, and I know 90% of you will take, but my rules say that this is not according to my trading plan, to be honest. It's not very clean, so I'll take for the sake of the exercise, but it's something that I will not be taking live, even though I make sense, okay, I can make sense of it. Let me just think. Yeah, okay. Outside session, okay, I'll stop. So all these questions and all that stuff for nothing. It is what it is, okay. Let's continue. Okay, but it's outside session, I believe. Outside session. I did not took this because it's outside session, even though it makes sense. Okay, what's happening here? So now we are inside session, perfect. So what we have now? We have this H1, the chalk on H1, so I can look for sells, and I have this entire range I'm playing with. Exactly, this entire range. So, sorry guys, I'm talking to myself as well to think. So I'm looking for sells because price mitigates refine H1 inside H4, and makes sense looking for sells, looking for longs only from these ones. So looking for sells. Let's delete everything. Price mitigates absolutely extreme. We have this H1 lead because it is an inside bar, even if it's not for you. Okay, inside bar. It's on M15. Very clean. So what do we have? We have this POI. We have this POI as the point that led to this point field liquidation, right? Led to this liquidation. We have that change of character. I think I'm starting to be a little bit slow on my thinking process because it's almost like 1 hour and a half in a row. So plus all the all things that I did before. So let's keep focus on this one. Okay, let's finish. we have the PBL, we have the chalk. So now I'm waiting for these two things to happen, the reaction here and the change of character. Okay, to then look for sells. Perfect. I'm now looking for sells. There's no clean reaction here, so I'll just look for that buy to sell. And at this point, I'll be looking for sells. 9.7, 9.8, okay. And then 5R. Simple as that, okay? Very clean. Let's go through it again. H4 mitigation, H1 clear shifts, even an internal boss bearish, giving us a strong internal protected high to trade from. So after the price push up, I essentially look for M15 entry model. We have this H1 lead, and even we have I didn't notice, but we have even this lower time frame, i.e. M15 equals. Okay, for me it was valid as well, so would be the work for the same. Okay, entry. Let's mark here, save, and the chalk. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, price never come back. Yeah. So now, at this moment, I won't be keeping my order open because price can just tap here and continue up. If you go to H1, price can just literally tap here and move to the upside. Okay. So I just prefer to, if price moves up here, I'll wait for a new entry model. Okay, sometimes this happens, it is what it is. And by the way, if I had left the order open, I would get mitigated in the next day and would get involved. Okay, things that you need to be aware, improve your strategy. So if I was leaving my order open, like I said here, this one, of course I was covering the high, but I would get involved. I would be inside the order, the trade, and would be a winning trade. I try to over refine in this situation. Sometimes it happens. Okay, not perfect. Okay. Let's see. So at this moment in time, we reached the absolutely extreme of the H1. So now, and this is dangerous. Sometimes this can be dangerous because we are now in a conflict, in a battle between H4 expectations and H1, okay? Because on H4, price mitigate the POI and can go down, but H1, like I said, is bullish and it forms through sweep and price mitigate absolutely extreme. So for me, it's valid to look for longs, even though I do understand why I can take a loss. But if I look for longs, would be here, would not be, for example, here, where price mitigate this and can go down. But even here is more aggressive because we know the objective that creates this bullish move can be completed, and now I'm getting involved in the wrong side of the market. Okay, it's up to you how aggressive you want to be, but for the sake of this video, I'll just get involved. Okay, we have the H1 lead. I have the chalk here. Let me see only if we have a chalk. Otherwise, I'll be here drawing things that does not make sense. Okay, I have the chalk. So this is the chalk, right? So chalk. Again, very aggressive. For example, some of you don't want to trade this trade, which is completely fine. It's more aggressive, like I said. This POI is very large, to be honest. So I would be sticking to this one. Because, and this is also something that you need to understand, that let's use the old one, okay? What I'm trying to play here, what is the objective I'm trying to play? Because it's the objective, the bullish objective, maybe already mitigated, already completed, price can go down. This can be just a reaction, guys, to move up mitigate this range, this buy to sell, and continue down. So does it make sense looking to get involved here on M15 with a massive stop loss to then the 5R is only here, okay? So the objective is not in line with a risk reward. So it does not worth looking to get involved, right? If you're looking this way. However, if you refine because the candle is too large to the refine method and essentially have the POI here and the risk reward here, this made much more sense because now we are trying to play the pullback, and if price mitigates the buy to sell range here, I'm already out for a win. So this makes a lot of sense. So this is why if I'm going to take a trade, and especially because this is very large, I will stick to the refined meta. Okay. And the PBO here. I'll just mark here just to be clean. Okay. I like clean charts, so I like this. Place the order. Okay. Price went down. Mitigators and break even would be here. Again, here. Oh, break even. And oh my god. Oh, okay. This would be annoying because it would be the third time on this testing that I'll miss the trade just for a few pips. Don't forget it happened 2 times. So yeah. So this would be a winner because it makes sense looking for buys, even though it's more aggressive, but we are trying to play an objective that even if it's just a pullback, it's enough to have the 5R. And this is, yeah, how I do it. Let's continue. Okay. Price did not mitigate the buy to sell. Okay, so no trades for me to look for sells. No way I'll be looking for sells. We are in Asia, so let's go back to London. And London is here. Interesting. Okay. So let me see the H4. Sometimes, oh my god, sometimes this happens. I can't go to H4. So I'll have to just keep going, okay. Essentially, I would be saying that if this mitigation, I think this is the buy to sell on the H4, but I can't go to H4. But if this is the buy to sell on H4, price already mitigated. So now after I can confirm with the H1 change of character, but the change of character is very far away. So I just confirm with, if you are more aggressive, like I said, don't need to do it, but internal structure, okay? This is formed through sweep, so basically this needs to hold if a mitigation is going to continue. So, okay, oh, it's still inside this, okay, this POI, so this can be used as inducement. Here. I really want to see if the miti on H4, but I can't go, I don't know why. Okay, it is what it is. So basically, I'll be looking for possible sell. Here, okay, I couldn't get involved, it is what it is, and price continue down. So let's continue to the next day. Hope you guys are with me because this is important. So let's delete everything. H1 boss perish. H1 boss perish, okay. So where now we definitely know, okay, I can go to H1, I always forget that. We definitely know that the low is going to get run. This low is going to get run. H4 objective was to essentially mitigate the POI. H1 boss perish, so now I want a pullback to continue down. Which POIs I'll be looking to trade? Have this, the big one, okay. Assuming this is an H4 as well. We have this one, because we have inducement below. This can easily be used as inducement. And we have this one as well, even though it's already mitigated. Let me see if it's mitigated to the EQ. I don't know where it is here. Just a minute, guys. Okay, maybe it's here. Okay, I don't know what it is. Basically, it's just saying, yeah, this is not to the EQ, it's not mitigated to the EQ, so this is still a valid POI to look for sells, even though it's low probability. But the reason why is because we have inducement, and it's probably a flip. Yeah, it's a flip if you look to this POI. But again, it's low probability. I would be much more cautious for these ones. However, still valid to look for sells, especially if you wait for an H1 change of character. So we have that mitigation. It not mitigates, we're fine, but we have the change of character. So now I can look for sells. I'm not sure if I will get the trade, but yeah, no trade. No trade. 23. So let's continue. Going back, we are in Asia, so going back to London. Okay, so again, the same. Let's see, we can go to H4. Not yet. Okay, so we can easily see even on H1, price did this, clean, push down, so something like that. So now I'm expecting this range to hold if price is going to go down, okay? Because yeah, we have these equals here, it's swap liquidity. If you use chains, right, you can see that we had a series of mitigations. Price mitigates POI, so you can definitely mitigate now here with these equals, swap liquidity, so enough enough to look for sells. And let's just use this, put this to the left. Let's wait for M15 entry and M15 entry model. So clean equals, definitely very clean. Liquidation here, okay, and then we have the chalk. We have the chalk here, and we have the BBL as well. You have the white salt buy, but I'll just use this, is much cleaner. So now you have your entry. Here. Hope you guys can understand that it is quite mechanical, simple, sustainable, scalable, and not very time consuming, and still gives us a decent frequency over and over, okay, over the period of months. Okay. Mitigates, POI, and that go down. So break even because it broke this. And now, oh, okay. This should hold, like I said, because mitigation is completed to the left. Now, if this mitigation is going to hold, these ranges hold. So I don't take M15 risk entries, etc., but this can be a valid M15 POI to look for a risk entry. And then the pie goes down. So yeah, depending on where you place your stop loss. But let me see, by the way, yeah, would still This would be, like I said, the entry, the zone to play the risk entry. So if you use risk entries, you can have a scale in. I don't, so this was the nice entry, and I expect as well, if you use another risk entry, this one, to hold, but I don't use it. Let's see. No, now it changes because the low gets taken out. So let's analyze again. Okay, price continue down. Let's go to London session next day. Okay, interesting, very, very interesting, because I think, let me see if I can go to H4. So 5 hour, okay, H4, not even 5 hour, so 3 hour. Okay, at least I can go to the 3 hour. You can see that we have the H4 breakout structure. Of course, like I can go to H4, but probably a H4 breakout structure. And now we have a possible pullback. Price can pull back to then go down. To be honest, to play the pullback, I can play with based on H1 change of character. But like I usually say, I don't assume the H1 will fail until it does, especially H1 structure, right? H1 structure, it would be like this. I don't assume they will fail until it does, so I'll be looking for sells from here. But if you have a clean H1 shock, we can also look for longs and see which one is going to hold. But to be honest, the pullback, in my opinion, it's much more high probability and confirm once we H1 boss bullish, okay? Anyway, it depends on how aggressive you want to be, but let's go. H1, I'll just mark this one as a breakout structure because it's very, very clean. Okay, even swap liquidity. And now I'm looking for sells, and I'm also looking for buys. So for sells, I'll be honest, I'll probably be looking for, let me just see if this is equals. Let me see if this is equals, because if this is equals, I don't want to trade from them. 89, 88, yeah, quite equal. So to be looking for sells, I personally will be looking above the equals, unless you have a confirmation entry, and I can be looking for longs, okay, because we have the H1 change of character here, and then internal outflow still bullish. It can go, okay. I have this POI, that is a flip, okay. If I look left, it's a flip, and it also has some kind of inducement. Okay, price went down. Let's see. Okay, it went down from there. Okay, no problem. So I won't be looking for longs now. Very aggressive to look for longs, even though it can play out. Yeah, it failed. So let's continue. We are in the final stage, guys. Just stick with me. Don't lose your focus. I hope you guys still with me, okay? So now I'll be looking for sells from this POI. Again, not assuming the H1 will fail until it does. So I'll be looking for sells, and after H1 choke, I can look for longs. Let's go to London session. London session, okay, for me, I can still look for sells. And after the H1 choke bullish, you can see it's a choke, I can look for longs. You can see this was a choke, okay, this inside bar was a choke. Okay, so I am now looking for longs. Okay, no entry. This is why sometimes, like I said, I miss a few trades on M15 because I wait for an M15 entry model. But if you use M15, sometimes, of course, you get more trades, more winners, but also more losers. So this saves me for some of the losses because I was waiting for an M15 entry model here. But if you use M1, you probably take a trade and no loss. Okay, so it's balance itself during the year. Price continue down. Let's just mark this PY to see how its price reacts. Completely failed. Chalk bullish again. So now I'll be looking for sell from here or here, but I'll prefer here because if this fails, okay. Yes, this can be an internal breakoff structure to mitigate H1 extreme and continue down, but at the same time, this is enough structure. It's very strong shift, so this mitigation can be again just a pullback to then continue up. So ideally, this is going to hold. Nevertheless, I will be looking for longs because aggressive push, chalk. So I'm all in for longs. So again, if I use M1, you get involved or not. Yeah, but at least you have more chance. And I didn't have a chance to get involved here. So now I'll be looking for longs. Okay, now I'm looking for sells here. So because price mitigates this POI, I'll be looking for sells, okay? And to be looking for longs, I have this thing sidebar, it's a flip, okay? You can extend to the extreme. I mean, you can have something like that and POI. So I'm looking for sells because I do not assume this will fail until it does. This can easily be inducement, mitigate extreme and continue down, but you need to be open-minded, and this shift can be enough to push price to the upside, especially because we have this H4 boss. Price already follow through some kind of a little bit, don't want to say too much, but quite significant move to the downside. So it's a little bit overextended and price can just go up from here. So very interesting price action. I really like how I show you guys this because this is like real scenarios that can happen. You can be looking for sells, manage and edge your position with a long if price presents the entry model, and see which one is going to hold. Like I always say, I don't predict, I just react. Okay, so it's much easier. I don't have any kind of ego in the market. Okay, so I'm looking for sells. We have the chalk. We have these small equals. Okay, if you classify this as equals, it's up to you. I'll be using this one as equals. Okay, so if you don't, this is not a trade, but I think it's quite clean. And I have the chalk here, I have the PBL here, and now I'll be looking for sells. Where do I can get involved? It's very, very messy. This is when it's very messy, I prefer to pick the entire range. So I'll just using this and just include some of the seasonals, POIs, etc. So I'll be looking for sells, but again, I'll be looking for sells, but I also will be looking for longs, okay, just in case. Because I don't know what's going to happen next, and I don't need to know in order to make money, okay? I just use risk management and trade my plan. So, okay, we have a sell, break even. So now I'm looking for longs because like break even, the sells are there, okay? It's doing its job. If it goes, it goes. But now I want to be open-minded, and I have this POI that can hold because this is a very clean shift internally. We can beat this big week. A lot of volume, a lot of money was printed here. So I'm interested in looking for longs. So stop focusing on sells. Now I'm looking for longs. We have the fake break. Okay. We have chalk bullish. Sorry, let me delete this. We have the chalk bullish here, chalk bearish. So we have the fake break. This is an inside bar. You can work this. This is a chalk and the PBL if you are more aggressive. And then break even on the sell now. And you can see like why I thought it was like a break even, because it's very corrective, guys. I always see the nature of price. You can see that this is very impulsive and this is very corrective. Left equals is not very clean. Okay, so now I'm looking for possible buys. Just see something. Okay, I'm thinking, guys. Let me think. So we have the chalk here. Okay, we have the chalk here. So now let me see if the flip swap liquidity. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a difficult one. It swept. I like to use. You can use the M5 just to confirm, because M15 for me is not very clean. I mean, you can argue it swept if you use low time frames, but I will stick to the most classic example of when I'm not sure. I prefer to stick to extreme. Okay, I'm not sure. I can understand people that assume it's a sweep, but for me, because of course, assuming you are using the way I trade, because if you go to M5, you can confirm that, but I'm not sure. I'll stick to this extreme. Here, 20, and then here. Okay, let's continue. Okay, good. Okay, price hit the distal. So yeah, essentially the flip failed, or to be a break even, because price tag in, broke the pullback, break even, and just mitigate the distal, and yeah, get taken out. And by the way, this outside session again, myself being lost, sorry, in the time. So this outside session. Don't want to trade outside session, especially Asia. Okay, so speed up a little bit. Okay, I didn't. My God, I should have left the order open, because the order was still valid and was mitigated. Oh no, it was not. So the order is not mitigated. Yeah, no mitigation here. So yeah, there's no mitigation, but essentially the order was still valid to let the order open, so you can just leave it open. I'll just use it and see if price will mitigate the order, and I'll move to break even. But let's see if it gets mitigated, because price failed to tap in the 25%. Okay, so price mitigate extreme. This can be used as inducement. I'm not sure. I won't have a limit order anymore. I'll just go to H1, guys, to be more clear. Don't want to cause any kind of confusion, but hopefully you guys understand why it's valid to look for sells and why it's valid to look for longs, and we don't need to know what is going to happen next. This is very, very important. Okay. Okay, and price went to the downside. So now it's valid to look for buys, because we have H1 breakout structure. So what's that? Okay, I can't go to H1. Let's go to 3. Okay. So what's happening? Okay, I can see straight away that two things can happen here. The fact that this can be used as inducement, price mitigate this POI and will continue down. And this is a high probability POI, because this one swept liquidity this following the chain and the series of mitigations, this is the next one. We have inducement below. So swept, chain, inducement, mitigate, and then can go to the downside, especially after the swept all this inducement. It's just asking to be swept, and internally this low failed to take out the high because it was a weak and then chalk bearish. So there's a lot of indication this low is likely to get run. On the other hand, we have this kind of shift and can be the first sign that price can pull back here and continue up. So I'll be looking for buys, knowing it's more aggressive, but I also be looking for sells, okay? Hope it was clear. The sells, the buys was because basically this is a first shift. We have some kind of equals. It's enough to look for buys to then play the pullback. I'm open for both scenarios. I can see both playing out. This one, this mitigation, price goes down, or this mitigation is going to hold. So I will be looking for longs and I will be looking for sells. H1. I don't know if M15 will do anything, but let's see. Okay, so on H1, the H1 lead is this one. But like I said, I want to be a little bit more aggressive, even though it's not the most high probability area to be aggressive. But we have this M15 lead. That price swept. Okay. Again, I use M15 lead when there isn't H1 lead. In this case, the lead is up here on H1, this one. I'll go back to H1, but I want to get involved here. So it's basically trying to find some, not an excuse, but something that's valid that meets the plan. And for me, it is M15 chalk, M15 lead. It's there. Price swept. We have the change of character, the PBL. Okay, everything is ready. So I will be looking to get involved here. Should have already been involved. So I'll be looking to buy. Again, change of character. And then the PBL. I should be already involved in this one. So I'll go with a stop order. The pull here would be the break even. Okay, very clean this one. Okay, this should end up as a break even, guys, because price broke here and I should have moved to break even, but the candle happens very quick. So for me, I just stop and close the trade. Okay, it's a small loss, but it's not a big deal. Should be a break even in the end. So I don't know what's happening, so I want to close it. Close. I want to close 100%. Okay. Here I want to close everything. I don't know if it was a loss or not, but for the sake of this exercise, I just continue. In this case, it would be a break even. Okay. You guys understand? Let's see if there's any possible longs. There's no liquidation, so this chalk doesn't mean anything for me. And price continue. Outside session. Okay, this is outside session anyway. Okay. Jesus, I mess up. Would be a winning trade, I think. Let me see. I want to look for longs, and then I also want to look for sells. Okay. This mitigation ended up holding, even though I could not find any entry, just a break even. And then price moves up, moves down, moves up. This should hold, so I can look for longs here. Let me see. I think, yeah, I can look for longs. Let me just see the characteristics of this POI. So it's around the EQ valid. Is around AQ. This inside one, this one, act like as inducement here, but yeah, it's not very high probability. Anyway, it's valid. Look for longs. I don't know if I would be looking for longs or not, but I just missed the trade. It is what it is. Very clean entry model because we have the H1. If you consider this as H1 lead, even if you don't, you have the M15 lead. So basically, yeah, it would be a winning trade. A little bit annoyed by missing this one, but yeah, we have the M15 lead. So here, M15 liquidity, change of character, and the PBL and price mitigate the extreme and continue to the upside. This would be a winning trade. I just missed because this is what it is. And then I would be looking for sells, but price just swept the POI and I'm not interested. And yeah, if you trade sweeps on all POIs, maybe you'll get involved here. But like I said, I'm not. So I will not be looking for sells only inside this POI because also is a little bit more aggressive, but the longs here is what makes me a little bit annoyed. So let me see if it would be a winner, by the way, or a break even. Yeah, probably would be a winner. So guys, so this is November. I want to okay, this is November. Show me the analytics. Okay, this is November. The goal for this exercise is to show you guys how I'm trading the M15. There was, I think, 1 or 2 entries here that should not be included. I don't remember, to be honest. I think it was at least 1. So yeah, this is skewed. Is minus 5%. So yeah, rough 10% for the month. And I just want you guys to understand that how I'm trading. You can see the strike rate tends to be good. The total trades, the frequency, it's very nice, around 10, even though you can take a few trades, but I also miss a few trades as well. So even though you can be missing a few trades, there's still there opportunities. So if you are trading funding challenge or you want more frequency, even on M15, yeah, don't sleep on that because it's there. I hope you guys understood the strategy. If you don't, just let me know, message me on Discord. But I would really appreciate, you guys, if you could give me your feedback on all this M15 strategy development. It was it went a lot of effort and phases and yeah, review things and then put into practice and all that stuff, just to show you guys and help my trading, of course, but also help you guys because I'm showing you. So yeah, guys, let me know your opinion and yeah, see you on Discord. Bye.